Did you wipe the security cameras? I stopped dead in my own hallway. My hand was still on the brass doorknob. Yes, I deleted the whole week, a woman whispered. Chloe, my future daughter-in-law. What about the blender? Did you scrub it? It is in the dishwasher, my son Luke muttered. His voice was shaking. Look, we just need to wait for the hospital to call. The doctor said her organs are shutting down. It is just a matter of hours now. I stopped breathing. The leather travel bag slipped from my grip and hit the hardwood floor. Welcome back to the channel. Grab a seat and pay attention. Because if you think you know the people living under your roof, you might want to think again. Make sure you hit subscribe, because you will not want to miss how this ends. I was not supposed to be home. My offshore drilling inspection was scheduled for 3 weeks. But the transport chopper failed a safety check. The rig was put on lockdown, and they sent us all back to the mainland. No phone calls, no warnings. I just wanted to surprise my wife, Kate. We have been married for 20 years. We built a successful logistics firm from absolute scratch. I stood in the shadows of the hallway and pulled out my phone. I hit record. I stepped into the kitchen. Whose organs are shutting down, Luke? They spun around. Chloe dropped a ceramic plate. It shattered everywhere. All the blood drained out of Luke's face. He physically stepped back and hit the counter. Dad? What? Why are you here? The rig was shut down. Answer my question. Where is Kate? He could barely form a sentence. He looked at Chloe. Chloe stared at the floor. Mom had a bad spell this morning, Luke stammered. She collapsed. We called an ambulance. She is at St. Jude Medical. I did not scream. I did not throw a punch. I looked at the running dishwasher. I looked at the panic in my son's eyes. I stopped the recording on my phone, saved it to the cloud, and turned around. I walked straight out the front door, got into my truck, and broke every speed limit getting to that hospital. I found Dr. Miller outside the intensive care unit. Paul, I am glad you are here, he said quietly. We have Kate stabilized, but it was incredibly close. We had to intubate her. What happened? Dr. Miller crossed his arms. Paul, I need you to be completely honest with me. Does Kate buy unregulated supplements online? No, never. Why? Because her liver and kidneys are failing. We ran an emergency toxicology panel. She has massive, sustained levels of a highly toxic botanical extract in her bloodstream. This is not food poisoning. This is systemic toxicity. Someone has been giving this to her every single day for at least 8 weeks. 8 weeks. My chest tightened. Kate fractured her wrist exactly 8 weeks ago. She could not cook. She could not drive. And my generous, thoughtful son suggested his fiancée Chloe move into our guest room to help out. Chloe, who insisted on making Kate her special healthy smoothies every single morning. Will she survive? I asked. She is a fighter, Miller said. We caught it. The toxins are flushing out. But another week of that exposure, she would have died. I walked into the room. Kate looked so small. The monitors beeped rhythmically. I held her hand. I made a vow right there, looking at my unconscious wife. I was going to ruin them. Completely. I was going to strip away every single thing they cared about. I walked out to the parking lot and called my attorney, Robert. He is a ruthless corporate lawyer. We have been friends for 20 years. Robert, lock every single account. Personal, business, trust funds. Change the passwords. Cut Luke's emergency access. Do it right now. Paul, what is going on? Just do it. And pull the transaction history for the joint business account for the last 2 months. Call me back. I sat in the truck. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. Paul, Robert said. Exactly $40,000 was siphoned out over the last 8 weeks. Small, random transfers to an offshore crypto exchange. Untraceable. Luke's login was used. $40,000. Why now? I asked out loud. Why would he try to kill his mother for $40,000? Because of the real estate trust, Robert said quietly. Paul, Kate called me last Wednesday. She was liquidating the commercial properties to buy that retirement ranch in Montana. $5 million. She was finalizing the paperwork to put it in an irrevocable trust this coming Monday. Luke would lose his inheritance. $5 million. They had a deadline. They needed her dead before Monday. I hung up the phone. I forwarded the audio recording from the kitchen to Robert, along with Dr. Miller's contact information. Call the police, I texted him. Send them to the hospital. I walked back into the waiting room. Luke and Chloe were sitting there. They had put on their best tragic faces. Chloe actually had tears in her eyes. I have never seen a more disgusting display in my entire life. Luke stood up. Dad, how is she doing? Can we see her? I walked up to him. I did not raise my voice. I spoke so quietly they had to lean in to hear me. Give me the keys. Luke blinked. What? The house keys. And the keys to the company truck you drove here. Hand them over. Dad, be reasonable. We need to go home, and... You do not have a home, I said. Hand over the keys right now, or I will drop you right here in front of these nurses. He handed them over. His hands were shaking violently. Chloe started crying for real this time. She pulled out her phone. Why is my debit card declining? She panicked. Luke, the accounts are locked. I stood there and watched them realize their entire world had just collapsed. You should have scrubbed the blender before you started wiping the security footage, I said. Dead silence. Luke looked at me. Pure terror washed over his face. He knew. I did not have to explain anything. Dad, please. Shut up, I said. 2 uniformed police officers and a plainclothes detective walked through the sliding doors of the emergency room. Robert works fast. The detective walked straight toward us. Luke and Chloe? The detective asked. Yes, Luke whispered. Turn around and put your hands behind your back. They did not even fight it. They knew it was over. Chloe started screaming, blaming Luke, saying it was his idea, saying he bought the extract online. I just watched. I did not feel an ounce of pity. They walked them out in handcuffs right past the nurse's station. I went back to Kate's room. I sat in the chair. 3 days later, she opened her eyes. She looked at me, tried to pull the oxygen mask off, and smiled. You skipped your rig inspection, she rasped. I laughed. I actually laughed. The tension broke. The chopper broke down, I said. Good, she whispered. I told her everything. She did not cry. My wife is the strongest woman I know. She just squeezed my hand, looked at the ceiling, and nodded. Change the locks, she said. Already done, I replied. The trial was a joke. They turned on each other immediately. Chloe gave the prosecutors the purchase history, the text messages, the entire plan, just to get a reduced sentence. They were both convicted of attempted murder and financial fraud. They got 20 years, no parole. We sold the logistics company. We took the $5 million. We bought that ranch in Montana. I am looking out at the mountains right now while I write this. People ask me if I regret going home early that day. Not a chance. I stepped into my house, I found the rot, and I cut it out completely. You cannot control the greed in other people, even your own blood. But you absolutely control how you handle them when they cross the line. I handled it. And we are never looking back. Drop a comment below if you would have done the exact same thing. Stay vigilant, and I will see you in the next one.